Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. We actually have two in one news to render. I will take this very quickly. One has to do with the presidency. Propaganda is propaganda, reality is reality, and we're beginning to check the facts against propaganda. How real is this? And the fact that, of course, they're beginning to call out Rotimi Ameachi over plenty things in Nigeria. Need special prayer, I must say. Before we go into the news proper, to find out exactly what is going on, like you subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified. Send us update our channel on YouTube. Let's start with what the presidency said. The presidency has admitted that Nigerians are not happy with the security and other challenges currently bedeviling the entire nation. A statement by the special advisor to President Muhammad Buhari on media and publicity, that's Femi Adesina, titled "This Kumuyi is simply different," said things are far from normal. Additionally, who was reacting to a recent statement by the General Overseer of the Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Pastor William Folorunsho Kumuyi, who urged the Nigerians to be patient, but the government described the clergy as a pastor who is different from others. Recall that former Vice Chancellor of Ajayi Crowther University, Professor Dakpo Asaju, had called out Pastor Kumuyi and Pastor Enoch Adejare Adeboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, accusing them of being silent about the state of the nation. Kumuyi, in his response, has said there was no need to disdain those in power just because they failed to deliver on campaign promises, stressing that it was ungodly to go on the rampage, destroying government property because of leadership failure. Reacting to the anger expressed by the professor, Adesina said, "Who is not vexed? Who will not be? Are things normal? Far from it. But is the government up and doing to turn things around for the people? Very much so. Then it's a subtle sponsoring of insurrection by ministers of God. The next thing to do, far from it." This is serious. The presidential spokesman lauded Pastor Kumoyi for giving instances of on how God has intervened in situations and circumstances of humanity through the works of the Deeper Christian Life Ministry, both within and outside the country. Yes, but then there's a need for the leadership to do their own part. There's some things God expects you to do. There's some things God will do. Come on. Let's not begin to say because the corruption is so bad, we say, "Oh, God will come down and fight it." God has raised men who will do this for us. So come on, let's those men that have been raised begin to do the necessary work. Look at David. The King David was a man of war, was a man that knew the art of bringing peace to the land. But was he of God? Yes. So there are men God has raised to restore peace. Where are they? Let them rise now. That's the most important thing. Not to make it look as if God would come down and do everything. Then why are you human? Why did He create you? We are created in His own image to look like Him, to act like Him, and to act in His stead. So let's begin to act like Christ now. Let's begin to act like God and do the things we ought to do because power has already been given to us. All right, let's quickly find out exactly what Rotimi Amechi has got to do. National Assembly Joint Committee on Land and Marine Transport on Thursday protested against the proposal of the Minister of Transport, Chibuke Amechi, for constructing standard narrow gauge for Kano Maridi rail line while constructing old narrow gauge for other parts of Nigeria. Can you imagine? This is serious. As in the North standard one and every other region nonsense. The protest against the marginalization was sequel, and this is actually from a South Southern. It's not even a northerner that is doing this, it's a South Southerner. This is serious. The protest against the marginalization was sequel to the presentation of 2022 budget proposal before the Joint National Assembly Committee on Marine Transport. Amechi said while presenting their budget, the construction of Kano Kaduna Railway to link up Abuja Kaduna rail lines has commenced. Survey and design for Ibadan Minna Abuja is ongoing. Construction of 284 kilometers Nigeria Maradavi, that's Nigeria Republic standard gauge rail line, enabling interconnectivity with countries in the West Africa sub-region for the promotion of trade and commerce. Can you imagine? I hope our sovereignty will still be guided. Let's continue. This important contribution by Nigeria will be mutually beneficial by adding to the economic growth of the two countries. That's Niger and Nigeria. Nigeria is more Niger than Nigeria these days. This is serious. Let's continue. Chairman of Senate Committee on Marine Transport, Senator Danjuma Guje, the House Committee Chairman, Honorable Pat Azadu, kicked against the marginalization of other regions of the country in the construction of rail lines. Both chairmen queried the minister why not constructing uniform rail lines across the country instead of giving Kano Maradi, that's the Nigeria Railway, modern rail line and constructing old rail line to other regions. The chairman committee on ports, Pat Asudu, who opened the floor after the minister presented the budget to the committee, asked why the constructing modern rail line for one place and constructing old rail lines on other parts of the country. He queried, why won't you construct narrow gauge across the country so that we can develop equally? I can't sit down and approve this. These are done with such impunity. My heart bleeds. This has been reoccurring. The Senate Committee Chairman on Marine Transport supported the observation of Honorable Asodi. He asked, why would you give us old rail line, spending a lot of money to construct standard gauge to Maridi? According to him, I completely concur with the statement of Honorable Minister in the House of Representatives Ameachi, while responding to issues raised by the committee, said that the difference between the narrow gauge and standard gauge is speed, adding that the country may not get the money to construct standard gauge across the country. He said that the negotiation for loan for the construction of Kano Maradi standard gauge line is about to be completed. He also clarified that his ministry was yet to get money for Kano Kaduna Port Harcourt Maduguri Railway project. The only money we have gotten is 1.4 billion US dollars for Lagos Ibadan Rail project, he said. I see money. On the economic justification for construction, the $1.3 billion Kano Maradi Rail, Amechi said the project was not based on sentiment but economic benefits for the country. He said on the completion of Kano Maradi and Kano to Lagos Railway, all national cargoes from Niger Republic like uranium and gold will be moved through Nigerian seaport from that corridor. This he said would translate into a huge economic benefit for Nigeria. What I will do before leaving office is to ensure that we move from verbal agreement with the government of Niger to a written agreement here that I guess Niger is either our elder brother or our younger brother. Time will tell. Let's continue. His opening remarks, Senator Guje emphasized the importance of marine transport across the globe, saying marine transportation is an essential component to the world economy as over 90% of the world trade is carried by sea, and it is the most effective way to move huge volumes of goods and raw materials around the world, including Nigeria. Well, this is so sad to note that this is actually coming from southern politician. This is Rotimi Ameachi, for some of us who do not know, is from South Rivers in particular. And if you check the Nigerian map, Rivers is in southern part of Nigeria. For those who are used to the old map, it is old eastern region. And this is definitely not a northerner. So what would you say if you want to shout marginalization? Who's marginalizing who now? Is it not still your own brothers? This is so annoying, to say the least, that standard gauge, standard rail line is being constructed between Nigeria heading to Niger, but the ones within Nigeria are narrow, old rackety grading railways what we are using, and that's why we are borrowing billions of dollars to construct. This is definitely sad. Let's put in the comment section what's your take. Do have a nice